If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Sunday morning. Well, the weekend after. There was a big debate to determine the future of New York City last Thursday night. And with us this morning is Governor Andrew Cuomo. And Governor, that was some debate. I was at the Al Smith dinner, so I wasn't able to see it in person or live. Give us an update. How do you think everything turned out?
Look, the debates, they can be a little frustrating, John, right? Because you get 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. And you really don't get to get into any depth. But I think Zoran Mandami, it became clear that there is no there with Zoran. He's got great slogans, freeze the rent, flying buses, grocery stores run by the government. Yeah, it all sounds great. There's no there. It's been tried before. It doesn't work. Moderators pointed out there's no way to fund it because the way he wants to fund everything is by a tremendous tax increase. And the governor and the legislature already said they won't pass that tax increase.
Well, Governor Hochul came over to me at the Al Smith dinner. And she said to me, I said to her, well, I love you, but I told her, I said, I love you, but you're disappointing sometimes. And she says, no, this is, if he wins, I'm going to be on top of it. I'm not going to allow anything stupid to happen. Now, it goes back to the fact that, Governor, this is a Democratic city. The 5 boroughs is what, 7-1 or 8-1 Democratic?
Yeah.
So, but you're the real Democrat. You've been a Democrat, and your father was a Democrat. You're the real Democrat. I mean, I look at as Mandami has been being a socialist, and he calls himself the Democratic Socialist Party. And the only reason, he got the nomination by accident because of this ranked choice voting, and it just. He's not the legitimate candidate in the Democratic Party. And what I tell all my Democratic friends is that the legitimate Democratic candidate is you.
Yeah. John, what people have to realize is basically you have a civil war going on in the Democratic Party. You have this far-left fringe group called the Democratic Socialists, who are a far-left radical extremist group. It's AOC. It's Bernie Sanders, it's the Squad, and it's Zoran Mandami. They are socialists. In the full meaning of socialism, government should control the means of production. No private ownership of land. You can't own land. Defund the police. That's who they are. And they are trying to take over the Democratic Party, and they have been for years. I am a Democrat. My father was a Democrat. I worked with Bill Clinton. I've been a Democrat all my life. So it's the traditional Democrats versus this far-left DSA. The far-left DSA is very strong in primaries, and that's how we won in the primary. But there is not a socialist economy that has worked anywhere, not in Venezuela, not in Cuba. The new mayor in Chicago, they elect their socialist. It's a disaster. Look at what's happening in London and Europe. We know socialism doesn't work, especially doesn't work in New York City, which is the financial capital. You're going to defund the police? disarm the police, we have a crime problem. What are you talking about? So it's all political theater. Also, what came out in the debate, his proposals are all former Bill de Blasio proposals, and they all failed. Freeze the rent was de Blasio. It failed. Close Rikers Island was de Blasio. It failed. Getting rid of gifted and talented programs. Legalizing prostitution. That's what we need right now with what's going on. That's de Blasio, and that's Mondami. And also, de Blasio had zero management experience, and he was a disaster. This kid has less management experience. The most significant thing on his resume is he was an intern for his mother. He never had a real job. He only passed 3 bills. Mayor is a real management job. You're responsible for 300,000 employees, 8.5 million lives. It's not about political rhetoric and theater. This is about keeping people safe and growing an economy and managing an education system. So Zoran, he's not a Democrat. By the way, he's never been at 50% in the polls, so New Yorkers get it. The problem is Curtis Sliwa is a spoiler in the race. And a vote for Curtis Sliwa is really a vote for Zoran Mondami.
Now,
and on the mayor,
Governor, I understand he was attacking you more so than Mondami at the debate. Is there a reason for that? I mean, you're the legitimate Democratic candidate, and I think if he loves New York, and Curtis says he loves New York. If he loves New York, then Mondami is a clear and present danger more so than you are.
Look, it is what it is, John, and there is no mistake here. There is no misconstruction. Curtis cannot win. 70% of the voters are Democrat. Curtis has run 1,000 times. He's never come close. There's no poll that shows him close. He cannot win. Put aside the fact that does he have the background or the credibility or the qualifications. He just can't win. What he can do is take enough votes to make Zoran the mayor, and he's going to make Zoran the mayor. It will be on Curtis. And all this stuff that I hear on your radio station, oh, Curtis loves New York, Curtis loves New York. You listen to Sid Rosenberg, Curtis loves New York. No, he doesn't. He loves Curtis. Because if it was about New York, he would say, you know what? For the good of New York, I'm going to step out because this Zoran is an existential threat. And you know who did that? Mayor Adams, who was the sitting mayor, who said, I'm going to step out of the race because Cuomo's got a better shot to beat this guy. And the end of the game has to be that we beat this guy. And Mayor Adams put his ego aside. Curtis won't. Curtis is saying, I love Curtis more than I love New York. And he should be called out for it. Because all of this, well, he's doing this because he loves New York. No. He's making Zoran the mayor. Zoran becomes mayor, it's because of Curtis Sliwa, period.
I agree with you there. I mean, what I've said to Curtis a few weeks ago, and I said, look, you want to keep running, but at some point, if you're winning, and if you have a knockout punch at the debates, then there's one thing. But if you don't have a clear path to victory, then somebody has to do the right thing. And by the way, at the Al Smith dinner on Thursday night during the debate, Mayor Eric Adams was there. Got a big applause for doing the right thing and stepping aside if he didn't want to be a spoiler.
Well, Mayor Adams, that's going to be his legacy. His legacy is forget everything else. His legacy is going to be he loved the city. He stepped aside. because he wanted to stop a socialist from destroying New York. And what I say to your listeners and Republican listeners, look, you want to say I'm a Democrat or I don't like Democrats, I don't like everything Cuomo did, fine. But Fiorello LaGuardia, there's no Democratic or Republican way to pick up the garbage. I know how to make government work. I am competent. I have been governor for 11 years. The state budget is twice what the city is. Nobody accomplished what I accomplished for New York City. You go look at LaGuardia Airport, Kennedy Airport, Kosciuszko Bridge, 2nd Avenue subway, Long Island 3rd track, cut taxes for the middle class, cut estate taxes, cut manufacturing taxes. You need someone who can get things done. We're electing a mayor. There's not a lot of ideology here. It's operational. It's management. Who were the good mayors? The managers. Bloomberg, not a politician, but a manager. I manage. I'm former HUD secretary. I know how to build housing. I built it all across the nation. Well, I'm a Democrat. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The Republicans want the city run well. You want 5,000 more cops. You want a public education system that works. You want somebody to clean up the city. You want someone to bring in a quality staff. I will do that.
Understood.
I've always done that.
Governor, we're almost out of time, but I want to thank you for coming on this Sunday morning. And you are, I do consider you the real Democrat running for mayor in the city of New York, and all the Democrats out there should recognize you as the real Democrat. Well, as a Democrat, if I was a registered Democrat, I'd be voting for you.
Thank you. And John, I want to say to your Republican listeners, vote like a New Yorker. Don't vote like a Republican. A vote for Curtis is a vote for Zoran. Vote for New York and stop Zoran.
I agree. I'll see you at the debate on Wednesday, and good luck at that debate, and we'll talk again. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good Sunday.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.